How can we do something to give it back to the community, especially because, from our side in real estate, you can sell condos, you can sell, deal with houses and represent a lot of wonderful people and clients that we have. But you don't have a really interesting place to talk about if you don't have a downtown core. You have businesses that are really creating the vibrancy and the environment of the community. These guys are putting it all out on the line for us, right? So it's dear to our hearts, and to realize that there's something that can be done, and it's maybe, we call it Pacifica ripples. It's maybe just a drop in the water, but maybe with the ripples, more people catch on. So we're at a very special place. We're right in the heart of Brentwood at Everything Old. Now, it's a really exciting store. There's things in there that honestly I've never seen before. All of those items have an incredible amount of history. There's even the tusk of a woolly mammoth that is, thousands of years old, that was found in Alaska by a gold miner. There's items from World War I, World War II with incredible stories attached to it. This seemingly little store is actually full of so many riches of stories, and actually has an international reach with interest and buyers coming from literally all over the world, right here in Brentwood Bay. So come with me, we're going to check Everything Old Canada.
Everything Old started out in an old farmhouse that we rented in North Saanich, and at that time we were poor and learnt about antiques by using them, starting with an old coffee grinder made in 1890. At that time, it was just a coffee grinder that produced a beautiful grind, and then when we became curious about its history, that was sort of like going down the rabbit hole of learning, and the more we learned, the more we wanted to learn, and the more functional something was, the cooler it became. And that's really how Everything Old began. The little farmhouse that we gave up our living room, bedroom, and dining room and turned it into a store. The North Saanich had kindly given us a permit to operate, and then when that property was developed, because we were just renters, the Tidman Group in Brentwood Bay invited us here, and we've grown since. We thought that we were just going to be like the little antique shop down the road, and in many respects we are. We're small and tucked away out here. But through online, like social media and such, we've ended up providing antiques and historical items to museums and collectors throughout the world. I'd say a lot of the people that we really enjoy dealing with, and we enjoy dealing with everybody really, but are like homesteaders and people, like we had a lawyer come out, very fancy dress, but he wanted to teach his daughters how to make butter, so they appreciated, and he bought a working butter churn from us. I'm like, that is awesome. So that's people who have like iron deficiency, and they're like, my doctor mentioned I should get some cast iron cookware. I'm like, awesome. So I really get a kick out of people who are going to use the items. it's fun to provide things to movie sets and so on. But when you have a 13-year-old sit down at a typewriter and they're doing it old school, or a 26-year-old getting their first fountain pen and they're using it, or somebody getting a camera and they're going out old school with film, it's really exciting. And we offer lifetime support for that too, because we don't want you to give up. So.
So we're headed to a store here in Brentwood I want to tell you about. I'm quite excited about this one. The owner, Andrea, started her own business. She's a local in Brentwood, and her store is called Spruce Clothing and Lifestyle. And she's got some amazing stories to tell about, how she started the store. It's really born out of, her passion for the beach and the environment. And what she has is just incredible in terms of different items. There's one item that will come up in early December, hopefully, she's saying, and that's to do with J35, some special mugs that are dedicated to the whole story of motherhood in the Orca whale. So, quite excited about this store. Let's go.
Born and raised in Brentwood Bay, and Spruce's story is a long story. It's been a very slow evolution. We started as a thought, the want to change the way clothing retail is done. So we started an Instagram account, and that actually stemmed from getting into photography first. And the Instagram account started getting some attention from my thrifted clothes that I was finding. So with that, we thought that we had something. So we started a small shop in my mother's laundry room in her basement, and we opened it up to the community, friends and family, and from there we felt some momentum, and my dad suggested to me we move to the garage. So we moved the Spruce to the garage, where we were there for 2 years in the garage, and we just grew little bit by little bit, extending the hours, extending the days more and more. And then finally, the opportunity came to move here. And, people asked me why Brentwood Bay. It's a great concept, but, go to Victoria or go to Sydney. And I was 100% sure that Brentwood Bay was our place for many reasons. One, I believe Brentwood Bay needs this. Just running down the street, quick gift for your girlfriend, or you save yourself the trip from town. We bring in a lot of new moms, a lot of strollers coming through here, and that's 2 hours out of your day if you're going to Victoria to get a t-shirt or a shirt or whatever. So there was that aspect that I felt that this community needed it, and that it was my community, the community where I walk down the street and I can wave 7 times, just knowing almost everybody. I also worked within this community in other small businesses, so I felt that I had a really good network system, from Brewskis to Sassy's to the Brentwood Bay Lodge. I've worked at them all. So yeah, it just felt right that Brentwood was our space. Spruce is about the service or the give back. It's kind of a platform to have a voice for the things that I care about and I'm passionate about, which very much includes the earth and the ocean. So when I decided to get into retail, it came from the passion to spread the secondhand nature of clothing. And we do these things within the business that go further than that. So with retail, I hated that there was such overuse, the seasons changed and the turnover, and so we decided to go with the secondhand route first and foremost, and then it goes further than that. We started a program at Stelly Secondary School called Free, where we recycled the recycled clothing to them in their textiles room, where they can learn to alter the clothing. And also the clothing's just available for them if they are in need. And then we also host clothing swaps. So the clothing has another opportunity to be recycled. And at the clothing swap, we offer a donation, which the donation goes to Peninsula Streams. So everything sort of has a tie to the community. So it's not just about retail and selling clothes. It's about much more than that. And that's what we really want to be, is a business that can be a supporter of the community. So for us, you know, the ways that we try to protect the environment is by choosing local, obviously supporting other small businesses. We're particular even down to the materials of things that we bring in. So we avoid polyester, which leach microplastics into the ocean. So it comes from like a very deep level. Even the wood on our racks is byproducts of a tree service company from down the road. So almost everything is upcycled in there if it's not a product from another small company. So yeah. Most people know about J35, Taliqua, the whale who did carry around her past calf for, I believe it was 17 days. And yeah, and I was just overjoyed when I was in my car and heard on the radio that she was pregnant again. And yeah, I just remember thinking to myself, like it filled my heart. I was so happy for her. And you know, my concern for the whales is ever growing, which is part of why we avoid polyester and things like that within the space. Anyway, so to celebrate Taliqua J35 and the ocean, which Spruce was basically built on the shoreline, my happy place, we are doing a new mug design, and it's by a company, Mer Mugs, who make responsibly made mugs. And the important thing about the mug is the design that's on it, which is going to feature Taliqua J35 and her calf. And it's this beautiful image that we designed with M Brand, another local company, to celebrate her, celebrate the whales, celebrate 2020. It has 2020 on it. And the year that it's been, and you know, it's basically the design purpose of the mug is that you're committed to the mug the same way that you're committed to cutting down plastic, the same way you're committed to using that mug and not using one-time use cups and all that stuff. And so basically when you purchase the mug, I want you to, it's kind of like a commitment to yourself to do better. What can you do better? How can we support these creatures that are so loudly speaking to us in ways, you know, that we're either choosing not to see or we are choosing to see and we're choosing to do something about it.
We are in the heart of Brentwood Bay, right at the Brentwood Bay Village Emporium. It's a really neat place because it's, in many ways, I view this as a main hub for the core village of Brentwood Bay. It's not just a coffee store. They've got actually a gallery. They've got a little store with all kinds of really neat things. And so I highly encourage you to come here and shop local and check it out. So we are just sitting with some people. We noticed we're sitting outside enjoying their wonderful coffee. And yeah, so my name is Patrick. Nice to meet you guys. And let's have a bit of a chat about, like, what does it mean for you guys to, you know, shopping local instead of online shopping? You know, it's so much easier, but what does it mean for you guys?
Well, first of all, I'm not an online shopper. I have enough problems with technology, so no, I don't do that. But I strongly believe in supporting local. I'm from Sydney, but I do support them very much.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the store in here is so cute. Well, how can you not want to come and just pick up something, cards, or get a muffin or coffee?
Good
and then
coffee.
liquor stores here, and like lots of little shops.
Yeah.
So it's it's actually, I think, sometimes easier. And given how much that we're inside, it is nice to get outside and walk up here.
yeah,
Yeah, even though it's fall, it is beautiful right now.
fantastic.
And it's also like, if you, like, I live in Brentwood and you know a lot of people that work at the places here, and you know, like, I know people that have their art here or their photos here that they sell, or know people that work here. So you kind of, it's it's a community and you know everyone that's around in this area that works.
Fantastic. So are you familiar with the Emporium? Have you been here for a while? So did you, because they used to do concerts here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's such a neat thing. So, well, it's really encouraging to see people like you know, supporting your community. And as what we're doing is, it's called Pacifica Ripples. We're trying to encourage local shoppers to come out and shop more. So to say thank you to you, we've got a nice little gift certificate for the Emporium to come back for $50. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
So thank you so much, you guys.
We opened in 2015, in August of 2015. Both my husband John and I come from a very different background than doing retail and cafes. He worked in television for 20 years and I was an event producer and I worked in theater. But way back in my past, I had been a cook and a caterer, and there was something about that, the immediacy of that I kind of missed. And when we reached a point where we wanted to make a change in terms of our careers, we've both felt really strongly about doing something in the neighborhood where we live. And so we started looking around, talking to people, exploring ideas, and we had a bit of a seed of an idea to begin with. And thankfully our idea and what people said they wanted seemed to match up well enough that that's how Emporium came to be. So we kind of bring a different set of skills to the shop, but they seem to complement each other. And then we have, of course, our amazing staff who really, they're the ones that are doing most of it. And it seems to work. It's been a roller coaster for sure. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but I would never go back. I think for us, one of the things that is really special about operating a business in our own neighborhood is that we've met a lot of people that we didn't know before just by being in business, and we've made a lot of new friends as a result. And so our customers are our friends and our friends are our customers. And there is a really strong kind of community vibe here that is, for us, the most important part of what we're doing. It's a little bit of a lot of things. So being in a small community, we feel like we wanted to provide a variety of opportunities for people. Primarily, it is around a community gathering place for food and drink, but it's also like an old-time Emporium in that we have a general store atmosphere with gifts and cards and local artisans' works and so on. So people can come, they can eat, drink, and browse is what we like to say. We carry a pretty wide range of things. They're probably, most people would consider them non-essential items, but we carry a pretty wide range of giftware, and we have a really great selection of greeting cards, including quite a lot from local artists and photographers, so we really like to feature that. And our product mix is kind of a range of items that includes locally made items. We have quite a few local artisans who provide us with stuff. So we aim for local, BC, Canada, and then we go a little bit further beyond, obviously, just to keep the price points decent and the variety there. So we really missed the opportunity to host the live music nights that we were hosting here at Emporium prior to COVID, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to get back to that, because the live music, the community ambiance that those evenings create, the opportunities for performers, all of those things are really a huge part of what our mandate is, and they're a big part of what makes this place unique.
Hi, so my name is Patrick. What's your name?
Claude.
Claude. Well, Claude, we're doing a movie shoot here. We're trying to support local businesses and by really trying to bring out as many local shoppers to support their local businesses. So why are you here today?
Oh, I came here. I came from Victoria, but I used to live in Brentwood Bay, and I just love the rascal.
They're a great pet story.
Yeah, Sue and her husband are really wonderful. The quality of service you can get here, you cannot find it anywhere else. So even if I move in Victoria, I decide to continue, take the 30 minutes, come back here, continue to come here to buy my raw food and treats for my dog. And my dog, she loves come here. When I open the door, she runs through the door and she's so happy to see Sue. She got all the free treats from
Oh, that's
Sue.
awesome. That's
So,
awesome. Cool. Well, to thank you for your time doing your own shopping local. I don't know if you're familiar, there's a cool little store here called Spruce Clothing. They're just on, by Vergier and West Saanich. It's an environmentally friendly clothing store, and we would like to offer you a gift certificate for $50 for that.
All right, thank you very
Yeah,
much. That's
fantastic.
awesome. Thank you. I'll go visit, I'll go discover this new store.
Yeah, great. You can come more from Victoria and come here, right?
Exactly. I love Brentwood Bay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Where are you coming here today at the village?
Going to the post office.
To the post office. Awesome. Supporting Canada Post, right? It's always good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you very much for answering some of the questions. As I said, we're trying to support local businesses, and to thank you for answering some of the questions. We've got a gift certificate for you. I don't know, do you know about Everything Old Canada? It's right here in Brentwood Bay.
No, don't know about it.
Well, you should check it out. They've got just some unbelievable items. They're right off of West Saanich, just before Wallace, and they've got even, just as an interesting item, a woolly mammoth tusk that's thousands of years old. It was found in Alaska by a gold miner. But they've got a lot of really amazing items. Some, you could find out value to you. Some are just for the history. It's just fantastic. They're a great local store, and so we want to offer you a gift certificate to that.
How long has it been there?
They've been on location for a couple of years now. They used to be actually in North Saanich, and they've moved now to Brentwood Bay, and they've expanded, and they're just, you should check it out. There's a lot of great items there.
Oh, I hope they're doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay.